Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Kristaps.One, and I am back with another video. The New York Knicks organization, MSG, is thinking about trading Kristaps Porzingis. Now, it really doesn't matter who is responsible of this latest rumor. A lot of people think it's Dolan involved in this. A lot of people are also under the impression that Phil Jackson is entertaining this notion, and the reason why he's entertaining this notion is that he wants to get out of New York so bad. He is going to try to trade away the one valuable asset that the New York Knicks have when you're talking about their future, Kristaps Porzingis. And he thinks that, well, that should do enough to move things a lot faster, so the New York Knicks MSG fires Phil Jackson and he can get out of this situation and still get paid. All right, now here's my reasoning behind this. Okay, first of all, I would not trade Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, I don't think that's the solution to make the team better. Yeah, you can trade him away to a desperate team, and then that team in return will give you 2, maybe 3 draft picks in this year's draft, if they have that many draft picks in this draft, or maybe a combination of 2 drafts, and then somehow, some way, you think lightning is going to strike twice, because in the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, look, we traded for Kristaps Porzingis, and it worked out beautifully for us. So why come we can't be under the assumption that if we draft this year and next year, we can get pretty much the same results? Okay. My reasoning is they're not going to trade away Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis has been very unhappy with the New York Knicks and the organization and Phil Jackson. Basically, the decisions they've been making for the past couple of years. Alongside that, Carmelo Anthony, the drama surrounding this particular individual. Are they going to get rid of him? They're not going to get rid of him. They're going to try to trade him away to another team or to a title contender. And Kristaps Porzingis is saying enough is enough. What about the New York Knicks basketball, the roster? How are all of these decisions making our team better? And it's simply not. And the New York Knicks as an organization, they're pretty much in rebuilding mode. They're pretty much rebuilding. They're building players around Kristaps Porzingis. He is a tall, athletic, power forward that has certain skills, and he kind of reminds you of Dirk Nowitzki. I feel like Dirk can do it a lot better than Kristaps Porzingis, but Kristaps Porzingis he's early in his career, and who's to say he can't develop these assets at a later date? He does need to improve some on his three-pointer game, but as far as his low post and mid-range game, it's pretty fair. And you can't judge Kristaps Porzingis as of right now, okay, until you start building players around this particular player. He's a very special talent, and this type of talent doesn't come often. Okay, you just can't just trade him away and then expect the next person you put into that slot is going to do better than what you had with Kristaps Porzingis. I still think the New York Knicks organization is in limbo land right now because of Carmelo Anthony. The New York Knicks, Phil Jackson, if you read the tea leaves, Phil Jackson wants more for Carmelo Anthony. He could have gotten rid of Carmelo Anthony this year with the Clippers. The Clippers was going to give the New York Knicks some pieces, and the New York Knicks look at those pieces and they're saying like, yo, I'm not sure about that. I think we can do better. And there was no second takers for Carmelo Anthony other than the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the most the Cleveland Cavaliers could do was Kevin Love. And we already heard the reports that David Griffin was against that notion. He felt like we can still get Carmelo Anthony and still keep Kevin Love. Okay, the Cleveland Cavaliers really don't have intriguing draft picks that the New York Knicks may entertain a conversation with them. Okay. The same could be said with the Los Angeles Clippers, but they do have interesting pieces that if you fit them alongside Kristaps Porzingis, it may improve the team. They're not draft picks, but they're interesting pieces. Okay, Doc Rivers' son was in that particular draft, and the New York Knicks could have gotten him. Okay, and he's doing a lot better with the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay, so if you look at the New York Knicks as a nutshell, they're pretty much in limbo land. They can't advance, and they're not going necessarily backwards until they figure out their identity. And they do have to look at the fact that they may have to let go of Phil Jackson, let him continue to get paid, and get a GM in there that actually wants to do it. A player of operation personnel that actually wants to do it. Okay. And even though David Griffin has pretty much said yes to the Orlando Magic, there still is a slight possibility if you fire Phil Jackson right now, maybe David Griffin may be interested in signing up to your team and trying to fix this team. I love how he, pretty much recognized talent, and he drafts the right players for the right situation and for the right team. He did pretty well with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and one could expect that he can do this same type of magic and have this same type of touch and flair with the New York Knicks. It's a possibility, okay? But the New York Knicks, in their horizon, they're going to have to get rid of Phil Jackson, okay? And they're going to have to unload that ridiculous contract that they gave to Carmelo Anthony. Not to mention Joakim Noah. See if there's any takers for Joakim Noah. You're pretty much stuck with him. Now with Derrick Rose, he pretty much said that he's going to be a free agent, and he's going to look at the NBA landscape to see what other team he may want to join. So you pretty much got rid of that contract, but you got dead money in Joakim Noah. You overpaid for him, pretty much like what the Cleveland Cavaliers did for Tristan Thompson, and now you're stuck with this contract. And if this contract was under the last final 2 years, then there's a possibility that you can move Joakim Noah to another team that just wants the money, okay? But as far as that, you have to get rid of those two contracts of Carmelo Anthony and Joakim Noah, and maybe you can get a few draft picks between those two individuals, okay? But it's highly unlikely. I think Carmelo Anthony, the best situation for the New York Knicks to do with Carmelo Anthony is to buy him out. Just buy him right out and then let him find his own team. Now, as far as Joakim Noah goes, if James Dolan, he has the money, he could just let go of Joakim Noah and Carmelo Anthony and just be done with it. But one would expect that you still want to try to find a team that's interested in Joakim Noah before you just simply let go of him. You probably might deal with him in his contract for another year to see if any takers are involved, and who knows, Joakim Noah may flourish next year, and he's more of an attractive piece that other teams may be interested in, because everyone loves big men, particularly playoff teams, all right? So you can keep him, and you're just going to have to accept the fact you're going to have to take an L. You're going to have to take a loaf. You're going to have to take a loss on Carmelo Anthony. Just buy him right out. Let him find his new home, his new team, and just let the chips fall where they may. And Phil Jackson, if you look at Phil Jackson's recent comments and his attitude about it, he basically wants to get fired, okay? He's dead man walking. He's ready to get fired, so just fire him. Let him go. Let him breathe and move on and go to either another organization and torture that organization, or let him go into retirement land, which I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to go into retirement land and pretty much be an analyst for TNT, ESPN, ABC, whatever, and just let him go out and find someone, a player of operations or a GM that may be entertaining the notion of managing the New York Knicks and try to get the New York Knicks in a better situation that they're not in right now. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Please, notification gang in the building. Hit that notification icon, that notification bell, so it'll let you know when my next live stream or video is going down. It's your boy. I'm Kristaps.One. You know you me.